I'm going to start talking about strings. So I'm going to go into Dreamweaver. You can go into your own application. And I am going to go ahead and look at Open Recent, and I'm going to find my basic.php page. And just remember that was saved in your dev folder. If you need a reminder, htdocs, dev, and then you had your basic PHP page. If you don't have that made already, you can start with a new page. Anyway, and I'm going to do a file save as, and we're going to go ahead and call this strings, and I'm going to change the title to strings, and we're going to talk about what strings are in this example. The first thing that you need to know is a string is going to be something that is set up inside of quotes. It's either going to be inside of single or double quotes, and it's something that is going to include or can include alpha characters, numeric characters, and certain other kinds of characters. If you have any kind of special characters like for instance, a backslash or something that would otherwise be read as a PHP directive like a dollar symbol, a lot of times you need to use a backslash, but when we start getting into different types of quotes, we're going to talk about when you need to escape things with a backslash. For right now, however, let's just go ahead and talk about some really simple stuff. Okay, so first of all, in this example, we've got a string, and what we're doing to get it onto the page is we're using the echo command. And there are two basic things that you can utilize to print something out to the browser, and there are a few others, but the two most common ones are going to be echo and print. And if I wanted these two things to be used here, then I could go ahead and drop to the next line, and I could say print, and let's go ahead and do the same string. We'll say basic page, or well, let's not do basic page. Let's say this is a string. This is a string using echo. Okay, and then here we'll say this is a string using print. Okay, and we'll terminate it. Now, the basic parts of speech, I'll reiterate this, would be you've got your command, and then here, in this case, we're using a string, and so in double quotes, we're saying this is a string using echo, and then we have to terminate it so that we know, the PHP anyway will know that we've got another command coming afterwards, and it needs to know when those things are terminated. So next one, we've got our command, and then we have the string that we want to print, and then we're terminating it again. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I want to show you something. First of all, I don't have anything between this is a string using echo and this is a string using print. The only thing that I really have between it is this carriage return inside the white space of the PHP, but I just want to let you know that it's going to run these things together, okay? Because it doesn't recognize that white space, as I've said before in a different demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and save this though, and we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to jump over to my browser, and inside a localhost, I'm going to look in my dev folder, and there's my new file called strings. And you see what it's doing is echo is saying this is a string using echo, and then print is this is a string using print. So you see that there's no space or break or anything in between them. And if we want to take it a step further, we can go up here and we can look at the source, and what you see is that in fact it's just running the text right together, as if there was nothing in the HTML to separate it. So but outside of that, echo and print are basically doing what looks like an identical task. So they're pretty interchangeable. The only noticeable differences that you might find would be is if you were doing massive amounts of echoes and prints in a single script, and you had something that was monitoring your processing, you're not going to be able to really tell the difference in terms of how much time it takes to process them. One is technically a little faster than the other, but only in a negligible way. So most of the time in this class, you're going to see me using echo, pretty common, but you will also see people in other places using print. So just know that those two things are essentially interchangeable.